Hello. Um, okay, aliens. I guess first of all, I'll say I'm a bit of a skeptic, uh, not just about aliens, but most things. But with aliens, I kind of look at it the same way I look at God. I find it a little hard to believe. I always like to say I don't, when talking about God, I don't think there is a God, but I'm not smart enough to know. But at least I'm smart enough to know I'm not smart enough to know. And I kind of feel the same way about aliens. I guess I'm somewhere in the middle. I guess like I would use the word term agnostic towards God. I don't know what the term would be for aliens, but yeah, I mean I'm not sure. I feel like for every argument I can give one way, I can give a counter argument the other way. And there's not much I can add that you really didn't say in your video, but I'll go through this anyway. So obviously, as you guys discussed, the the most convincing argument that there are aliens out there is just the sheer size of the universe. It's so mind-bogglingly big that you would think there has to be life out there somewhere, and who knows what that life is? Like as you said, doesn't have to be the same atmosphere as ours. It could be some sort of bug or unintelligent animal, but it's if an alien out, would make it an alien. I would also say, and I know in the video he said something to the effect of, I think he said 1% of, well, they come up with 1% of all planets should have life. And I'm sure that was, that was come up with something by someone way smarter than me. But that seems like a really high percentage. It just seems like all the crazy factors that have to come together just right for a planet to sustain life. It's not just the atmosphere. You need water, what plant life, other animals we needed to eat before we could farm and get into agriculture. So many things that have to go right in the entire ecosystem. It's not just one thing. Oh, there's life on this planet. So I don't think it's totally crazy to think we're the only people out there. Um, you know, and there's if they're out there, why haven't they come here? Assuming they haven't, which I'll get into a second. You know, um, I guess you know, he was also saying, was it like if someone had been able to reach the speed of light in the galaxy, they would be able by now they would have been able to travel everywhere to every planet in the galaxy. I guess my counter argument for that would be first of all, depends on when they reach the ability to get to the speed of light. And second of all, what if there's alien life that's not in this galaxy but in another galaxy? From what I've heard, the estimates are there are between 1 and 200 billion galaxies in the universe. Uh, Now, I remember reading an article a while back A lot of people think it's impossible to travel faster than the speed of light. Although I remember reading an article where they were saying they thought they had an idea of how to travel faster than the speed of light. I mean, this article went way over my head, but I guess technically you wouldn't be moving faster than the speed of light, but I guess it would almost be like warp speed, because they said you almost, if I'm remembering this correctly, you know, warping space or space and time around you so you could travel faster than the speed of light without actually moving faster than the speed of light. But again, we are one planet in a universe that's just so freaking mind-bogglingly big that no matter how fast you could go, you could miss us. Um, the odds of someone running into us, I feel, are so small. It's not like we've been sending probes out for a long time. We've only been sending stuff into space for you know whatever since the 60s or 50s. I'm not sure when we first sent first satellites out, but in the grand scheme of things, that's a very, very, very small time. As for aliens coming to Earth, uh, I don't think it's totally crazy or totally unbelievable that something like Roswell, there was a crash and the government covered it up. Uh, Especially when you look at how far we've come since then. I believe that was supposed to have been 47, if I'm correct. And by 69 we were on the moon. Although would we be able to figure out alien technology that quickly? I don't know. We were already, I feel, moving ahead technologically. But for there to have been, for them to cover up multiple alien landings, that seems a little more far fetched. Then you talk about people who have seen aliens. So let's say they have been coming to Earth on a regular or semi-regular basis. People who have seen or said they've been abducted by aliens. They generally sound a little, how should I put this delicately, batshit crazy. But every now and then you'll see an interview with someone who seems sane and rational, and it sounds like a credible story. Whether it's minds playing tricks on him, or at the time he was under the influence of something, I don't know. It just sounds to me like, I don't know if you're familiar with Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Uh, but one of the characters talks about teasers who buzz planets, and it's basically they ever find a remote part of the planet and land, in front of someone walking around with antennas on their head, making weird noises. And they pick someone that no one would ever believe. And that's sometimes what it sounds like. Uh, uh, One of the other things you said, that I've thought is that by now, if they had been coming down, you know, regularly, we would have photographic evidence. With everyone having a cell phone with a camera on them. Uh, but that assumes they are coming down on a regular basis. First of all, you know, remember we haven't had cell phones for that long in the grand scheme of things. I also say if someone did get a picture, we'd still probably be skeptical that it was, photoshopped or something. Uh, and aliens aren't something like, you know, Bigfoot, where, it's on this planet and people are searching for it. You would have to wait for them to come to us. Uh, it's also, if they're becoming, maybe they don't want to be seen. They could have technology that could, you know, cloaking devices or some sort of technology that makes it hard for them to see, or maybe they may just sport those clothes that make you invisible to cameras that from that Fantastic Four episode of Take My Money. So okay. Uh, Another thing that you mentioned in the tweet for this video that they always seem naked, and I never thought about that before, but you would think that even if it's a race that doesn't wear clothes for space travel, they would have some sort of space suit or something, especially going into another environment. But again, you never know how their bodies react to different environments. Maybe they are wearing a spacesuit and it just looks like skin, or maybe they have some sort of just super strong, you know, clear suit that you know, we can't tell they're wearing. So, um, okay, you also talked about the painting, the Madonna with, was it Saint Giovanni or Giovanni Nino? Uh, Something I was reading was saying that a lot of paintings back then there was religious symbolism, and it could have just been something like that. Uh, but not to mention, for me, in the end, it's just a painting. It's not a photograph, so a guy could have painted anything. It doesn't. Yes, it's possible. He could have seen an alien and put it into a picture, but he could have just been drawing anything. Okay, I guess so. I guess at the end, I really have no idea. I I will remain skeptical until there's proof. Would be cool if there are aliens out there, but then again, remember hearing something something about Stephen Hawking saying that we really shouldn't try and make contact with alien species because if they did come to visit us, they might end up killing us off. Not in the sci-fi movie, take over the planet type of thing, but it have some kind of disease or virus that they're immune to that we're not, that could just kill off all or most of the life on the planet. Uh, so that's it's a little scary. Hopefully, if they do come here, they will. Maybe that's why they've been probing us to make sure we will be immune to their diseases. All right, so that's just some of my thoughts on aliens and the possibility. Again, like I said, in the end, I have no idea, just like you. So thanks for listening and goodbye.